Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of A Little Murky. Whew. It's very late. This is my 11th, maybe 12th attempt of recording this episode. I really hope it goes well. Uh, for today's episode, the original plan was to talk to you about my cat. But as you can see from the title, an oopsie happened. Because I keep getting curveballs left and right. I cannot rest. Nothing too serious is happening, thankfully. But a lot of bad things are coming my way lately, and in general, I don't know what I have done to piss off divine energies this much. Anyways, so yeah, I will be talking about some car trouble I've been having lately and in general. And I will also tell you some things about my job, which I got fired from if you listened to the first episode. So grab the drink of your choice. Today I'm just having water because it's so late. And let's dive into this mess. Murky mess, if I say so myself. Another pun. So, about my job, let's start with this one. I was an office staff, part of the office staff, for a small company. So small that the office was 3 people and each person was a different department. My job was imports and exports. But which means I was speaking with suppliers, placing orders, mainly foreign ones, and also international clients. And I would also help with sales, sometimes accounting, and I would also do odd jobs. I would make some coffees if people came over, because we didn't get a lot of clients in the shop. Most of the things are done by email and phone calls. I would make coffees. They would make me clean sometimes because I was the youngest. At some point we had to do some questionnaires. I was asking people stuff. Yeah, just a little bit of everything, if you can picture it. And it was my first job straight out of uni. What happened? I don't know if you heard that. Something on the road. It was my first job straight out of uni. I was there for about a year. I've been talking really fast. I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit. And last week, I get a phone call from my boss and he says, "I'm very displeased with your performance. I've asked you to do one thing and you haven't done it, so I would like to terminate our collaboration." And that was it. The next day I went to work. It was my official last day. And I just tied some loose ends, spoke with my co-workers. I didn't really do much, just tidied up my paperwork and everything. And this happened on a Friday, so they told me on Monday you're gonna come here for a few hours to just sign some papers. So, yeah, I got fired. You know why he was displeased with my performance? Because I didn't Google something he wanted me to Google. Which I did Google, but I didn't find clear answers and I told him so. And he was expecting a phone call all day for me to let him know about that thing. He would constantly ask me to do stupid things that had no correlation with my job. I had to call the electricity company for his house. So, yeah. And my coworker has to book dentist appointments for him. It's it's like we were working for a 5-year-old, but I no longer work there. To be fair, I wasn't sad. I was upset because I will be starting French lessons soon, and that costs a lot of money. And thankfully, I had some money in my savings account, but I'm broke. I don't get paid a lot. I get paid minimum wage in my country, which is not a lot. It's under 1,000 euros per month. Let's just say that. Um, yeah, I wasn't sad. I was just stressed. What am I gonna do? I'm broke. I cried a little bit because of the stress, not because, oh, I love this job. What am I gonna do without it? No, I didn't give a fuck. I actually wanted to quit my job. I was starting to fix my CV and start sending it out for other places for me to work, but that didn't happen. He fired me first. So, Monday comes and a lot of cars are coming by. I really apologize. I don't know what's going on. Cars and bikes. Yeah, another one. I don't know what's happening. So Monday comes and I need to go sign some papers. And I get in my car. I put the key in because my car is 24 years old. We got it secondhand. I put the key in. I turn it and goes ee, and then nothing. Again, ee, nothing. I tried multiple times. I tried turning the key the other way. I tried so many things. Nothing worked. It's been a week since that day. I still don't have a car. I eventually got a ride from my brother and I went to sign the papers, but we don't really know what's wrong with the car. My dad thought it could have been a sensor, which he replaced. It didn't work. And the first few days I was hopeful. I was like, you know what, it's not working, but we're gonna get this done. It's gonna start running again. It's now been a week and my dad has tried so many things to fix it and it's not working at all. So I'm starting to get really stressed and worried. Yeah. And not having a car has been kind of difficult for me. I don't really plan on going anywhere for these few days. I don't have a job anymore. I live in a village, small town, but we call it a village. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. So I can walk everywhere, but it's freeing to have a car. It was very freeing for me, and I live with my parents. I moved back with my parents after university. So me not having a car and being able to go somewhere whenever I want can be very frustrating when you are a young adult living with your parents that yell for no reason all the time. Yeah. So, since my car isn't working, I wanted to take this moment and tell you about all the other things that are wrong with my car that have not affected my car breaking down. There were things wrong with it that it was working, right? So, I'm gonna tell you about these things because they're a lot. They really bother me, but it also makes me love my car even more. I don't know why. All these things that are wrong with it the I'll get into it. I don't want to give you any spoilers. Um, haha, spoilers. Cars have spoilers. I'm gonna stop doing that. um, but yeah, I really miss driving it. Anyway, let me tell you what car I have. I have a 2001 Peugeot 206cc in black onyx. It's no longer black because the paint job is absolute shit. It is faded, it looks ashy, it really needs a paint job, but it costs almost 1K, and I don't have that, especially right now. I don't even have money to take it to the mechanic. And my dad's struggling a bit also, so he doesn't have money to take it to the mechanic either. We have to DIY it. So a paint job isn't in the foreseeable future of the car, unfortunately. I said the model, the year, the color. Nobody's gonna care about this, but it's 110 horsepower, 1.6 liter diesel engine. And it has a, a little turbo with a mushroom air intake. I really like that. So, yeah. Oh my god, talking about it makes me miss it even more. You guys have no idea. And as I'm gonna go through the list of things that are wrong with it, it's gonna make me, I might even cry. I haven't driven my car in over a week. I'm heartbroken. Alright. This model is a coupe and a convertible. Coupe means it's a two-seater, essentially. Oh my god, another guy going by revving like crazy. What's wrong with people today? It's Monday night, almost 12 a.m. Where are they going like that? I guess it's part of the theme. Yeah, cars, loud ones. So, this model is supposed to be inconvertible. Mine isn't because the mechanism for it broke some time ago. I don't really know when. When my dad first got the car, because he has had it for a few years, until I got my license and I was able to drive it. He has a different car for himself now, a Peugeot 206 diesel engine. Not exactly the same model, but twin bitches. Yeah. I'm sorry for the profanity. I'm not in a I'm angry about the car, so I keep using bad words. It's no longer convertible. And when my dad got it, he realized that it's gonna be very expensive to fix the mechanism for to open the top. So he decided, fuck it, I'm gonna glue it down, because it was also leaking water whenever it would rain. It was the best option to use industrial glue and glue everything in place, including two little clips on the inside that they were on the sides of the car that would hold the hood down, the top. And whenever you would drive, they sounded like Legos. I don't know what was that about. But yeah. Another thing is also the little windows in the back. If you've seen convertibles sometimes. Well, convertibles are also coupes. There's two windows in the back that you can't really control, but these ones would constantly fall down, so my dad had to put wedges wedges on the window so they wouldn't fall, so they can permanently stay open. That's an interesting fact. I mentioned this on the previous episode. I don't have a horn in my car, which really bothers me when I'm road raging. And what's gonna bother you is the fact that my car doesn't have an airbag. Definitely not on the steering wheel. I don't know if it has any other airbags. I know that it doesn't have one on the steering wheel for sure. But yeah, that's gonna make a lot of people angry. It makes my boyfriend really frustrated whenever I drive, because I'm not I'm not careless, I'm careful. I just sometimes drive a little over the speed limit. Just a little over. Like a tiny bit. Like 10, 20 or 30 kilometers. You know, that can be a concern for some people. It doesn't have a radio, which isn't really bad, but I love listening to music when I drive and I have to use my phone. But it's not just the radio. It had a radio, we connected it, the whole sound system is busted. And after some point, the lights wouldn't work if you turned the radio on. The radio would be turned off and static would come out of the speakers. And at some point I turned the radio on and it smelled like something was getting burned. So we just disconnected it and it sits there, so there isn't a hole in the console. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, I have to listen to music from my phone, and then the other problem comes in. I don't have AC, so I have to drive with my windows down, so I can't really hear the music. I kind of have AC, I just need to refill it with Freon, but there's a leak, so it only lasts for a month, and Freon is like $50 per refill. It's not really worth it. And the car is so aerodynamic because it's supposed to be in convertible, so when you put the top down, all this air doesn't come straight to your face. The car is so aerodynamic that when I put the windows down, the air doesn't come in, the wind. I have to put them all the way down for some air to circulate inside the cabin, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. And another thing about the AC is that if I go a little too fast, 70 kilometers plus, hot air comes out of it, even if it's turned on. And you're gonna say, just turn the vent to the little vents off. I can't. Half of them are broken, half of them are not working, and the ones that are working are the grills are broken, so you can't adjust them. It's a little bit of a nightmare, but I absolutely love it. Don't get me wrong. Two last things that are wrong with my car. I mentioned that whenever it would rain, water would leak, right? Well, where the radio antenna used to be, it got broken off. I don't know where it is. And a little knob was left with like a screw in it. Somehow rain manages to sip through there and get into the cabin. And right under it, inside the cabin, is the light. So that wasn't very nice. And we added a little shark fin cover for the radio antenna. I don't know if you have seen what these look like. We added one of those with industrial glue. And last but not least, this is my favorite. Um, the there's the driver's seat and the passenger seat, right? There are also two seats in the back that no person fits. Groceries fit and dogs, smaller ones. So, um, in order for you to have access to those seats, you have to drop down either the driver's or the passenger seat. You know, there are knobs on the sides that you can control and adjust the back of your car, of your car, of your seat. And that knob that adjusts the back, also if you pull it forward, it drops down the seat so you can have access to the back ones. The knob on the passenger side is completely broken off. You can't adjust it at all. You can't do anything. You can only bring the seat back and forth. That's it. On the driver's side, the knob was also broken off. But you know how you can use it? With a wrench. A wrench that my dad has stuck to the car and it's permanently there. And if I want to adjust my seat, the back of my seat, or if I want to drop it down so I can have access to the back if I have something and I don't want to use the trunk, it's I have to use the wrench. Yeah. And the trunk is also disconnected from any buttons on the inside, so if I want to open the trunk I have to get out and use the key, which for some people is not that fun. If you are in traffic, no, why would you be getting out of your car and getting things out of... I mean, some people do that in cities, yeah. Yeah, I'm not that dumb. I made a good point. Yeah. And fun fact, my car, not my actual car, this model, was featured in a Top Gear episode where, if I'm not mistaken, James push the button to make it go convertible for the top to go into the trunk. It halfway stopped, and then he tried to adjust the temperature, but he was holding the button for too long, and the car's the console caught on fire. So I think that perfectly describes my situation. In all seriousness, I actually adore my car so much. Maybe it's because it's an old car, maybe it's because it's a diesel, maybe it's because it's a little loud, maybe it's because it's a manual and I'm never gonna be caught driving an automatic. And it has really good fuel efficiency. I actually don't know how often I refill it, because a friend of my dad's likes me so much that he brings me gallons of diesel ever so often. I think once a month, and that's what I use. I don't actually pay for gas, well, diesel, because he's my diesel fairy. It magically fills the tank. Yeah, that's why if I'm without a car, I'm gonna start crying, because if I have to buy a car, which I don't have money to do so, it would have to be a shitty second-hand car. It's probably gonna be gas, and gas is very expensive in my country. If I had to put diesel inside, like actually go to a gas station, it would actually be cheaper. But yeah, some other things that make my car noticeable is we added a teeny tiny fake carbon fiber spoiler in the back, and I also have fuzzy dice hanging from my mirror. So if you ever see a car that looks like shit with a shark fin on top, a little spoiler in the back, a liquid moly sticker on the back window, and fuzzy dice hanging from the front, that's my car. But you're probably not gonna see it on the street. Because I don't know if I'm gonna if I'm gonna be able to drive it again. I'm gonna start crying. But yeah, this is all for today. I'm extremely sad about my car. I'm extremely happy I was able to actually record this episode. You guys have no idea how many times I had to do this over and over again. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I would really love to hear about your guys' shitty job situations. If you got fired, how you quit if you got quit, if you quit. And tell me some shitty things about your car. I would love to know that other people also struggle with their cars. It gives me hope. For mine. For my shit box. And yeah, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm still kind of struggling to find my flow and my rhythm. Any recommendations are more than welcome, as long as you're being kind. Please don't forget that we live in a day and age where people forget to be kind. So that's all. I keep saying so and but yeah. You can find me on all social media, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, a little Murky. X or Twitter is a-little-murky. My email is, the podcast's email is alittlemurky@gmail.com. In the description of this episode, I will have my link tree where you can find all of the social media, the podcast. Well, if you're listening on Spotify, I think you know where to find the podcast. Also my email and my Discord server, which is there if anybody wants to chat. We could build a little community, you know. So that's all. Thank you again for listening, and I will see you I will see you next time.